One word to describe competing for SFU is tradition.
My word is success.
Determination.
Experience.
Inspiring.
One word to describe competing for SFU is excellence.
It is family.
Passion.
My word is pride.
Opportunity.
My word is patriotic.
I am Sophie Swan.
I am Adam Jones.
I am Peyton Smith.
I am Justin Guerin.
I am Victoria Saunders.
I am Braden Charlton.
I am Michaela Guerrero.
I am Graham Miller.
I am Christine Howlett.
I am Adrian Vanderhelm.
I am Michelle Waters, and we are proud to be on Canada's NCAA team.
And welcome back, everybody, to the West Gym here at Simon Fraser University. It's time for part 2 of our GNEC basketball doubleheader here on Clan TV. I'm Howard Samura coming to you live from the West Gym. And tonight the Clan ladies will begin their final homestand of the season against Northwest Nazarene, as the team looks to make one final push to earn that final berth to the conference tournament in Anchorage. We'll have more on the visitors as well as the playoff picture clarifies itself, or begins to, over the next couple of weekends here. But first, a recap of SFU's final road trip of the season last week. And it was a week ago that Simon Fraser fell 68-49 to Seattle Pacific at the Brome Pavilion. The Clan trailed by only 2 points at the half, but the Falcons outscored the visitors 27-8 in the third quarter to pick up the decisive victory. Taylor Jackson, Sophie Swan each with 10 points. Jackson with 6 rebounds, while Swan picked up 5 steals. And the redshirt freshman Claudia Hart 9 points to go along with 10 rebounds. 2 nights later, it was sophomore guard Tia Sang hitting a pair of free throws with 20 seconds remaining. Gives Simon Fraser a narrow 60-58 win over St. Martin's in Lacey, Washington. 18 lead changes, 8 ties. What a game it was. Taylor Jackson with 11 for Simon Fraser. 9 of those 11 coming from the stripe as she dished out 4 assists. Swan also had 7 rebounds in that game. In addition to the game-winning throws, Sang went 3 of 6 from beyond the arc and had 3 steals, while Claudia Hart scored 10 points on 4 of 7 shooting. Jessica Jones and Taylor Drynan contributed 9 and 8 points for the Clan respectively. And with that split, SFU sporting an 11-13 overall record heading into the game tonight, 6-10 in league play. Simon Fraser set to face a very, very tough Northwest Nazarene team. And if you want to look at the way this weekend shapes up with Northwest Nazarene and Central Washington, 2 of the top teams in the GNAC as we enter the second to final weekend to play, and 2 more games remaining here at home next week, including their finale, a Tuesday game against Western Washington and a Thursday game against Montana State Billings to wrap up the regular season. They're all 4 going to be like playoff games. And when we sat down with head coach Bruce Langford, he previewed those next 4 huge games. It's just like the playoffs have arrived early here at Simon Fraser.
So we have a bit of a tough run with 7 bodies here, and we actually have a couple of those bodies injured, 2 of them at least with some nagging pieces, and so we play Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday. So we have 4 games in 1 week. 4 games in a week is always a bit of a challenge, and to end it off this way at the end of the season when you're already pretty beat up is going to be a challenge. But to be honest with you, we're really focused on this week, and we're really focused on Nazarene and trying to do some things that we've done not enough in the past to make sure that the Nazarene game is successful. And then we follow that up with a Central team that likes to get physical and keep the score low and kind of battle it out in the paint. And you know, we're 7 bodies and we're not a lot of paint battlers. So that's going to be a huge challenge too. So we're in for a challenging little 2 weeks.
And welcome back, everybody, to the West Gym. Our Clan TV spying out Taylor Jackson, the talented junior out of Langley's Brookswood Secondary this season in 24 games, averaging at 28.1 minutes per game. Taylor 11.8 points per game, shooting 46.2% from the field, 4.7 rebounds a game and 1.4 assists per game for Taylor Jackson, who's going to be counted on for a lot of that play inside. And this Northwest Nazarene team comes in defending the 3-point shot better than any team in the GNAC. So Simon Fraser is going to have to get things done inside and out. And when they go inside, it's going to be both Sophie Swant, the team's leading scorer, and Taylor Jackson playing a big role there as we see Swant going right to the glass in the warm-ups. Take a look at those GNAC standings and you'll see that Northwest Nazarene has had a terrific season. They come in here with a 9-game win streak, 14-2, 1 game off the conference-leading Alaska Anchorage Seawolves. And of course, that is heady stuff here for Simon Fraser, who sit just outside the playoff picture. Remember, the top 6 are going to make the GNAC Championship Tournament. Simon Fraser with a tall task today at 6-10 against the 14-2 Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks. Of course, the Concordia Cavaliers will be playing today. And they are the team that Simon Fraser is basically in a battle for that last playoff spot. So we may be checking in over the course of the evening and scoring update a final Western Washington with a victory over Central Washington, 67-59. Of course, the Wildcats in town on Saturday. That for a 5:15 start. And in the third quarter, thanks to our producer Gabe Lynn, Montana State Billings with a 37-23 lead over the Cavaliers of Portland. And the Clan will be scoreboard watching, pulling for Montana State Billings in that game as the Clan can narrow the gap. The tough part here, Concordia with the tiebreaker against Simon Fraser, so the Clan would have to win that one outright. And that's why we say in these final 4 games of the regular season, a homestand for the Clan. They're in their fortress here at the West Gym. It's like the playoffs have come early here tonight to the West Gym. We're down to a minute remaining as the Clan players preparing to greet their fans here at the West Gym. Of course, athletics.sfu.ca/live, the place to watch all Clan action. Watch this game live on YouTube. Hope you're enjoying it with us here tonight. And of course, the archive's available as well for Simon Fraser University Athletics. There you see it on the screen, the same address, /on demand. And there are a ton of SFU games. You can get a feel for the Clan. You can have a Netflix weekend if you want with Simon Fraser University Athletics. Just dial it up on demand and you can watch football, men's and women's basketball, volleyball, softball. It's all there on Clan TV. We're down to 14 seconds remaining, and the questions sitting right now, are we having an anthem here before the game? Of course, the men, the Simon Fraser men, with a huge victory today over Alaska Fairbanks. Clearly the largest margin of victory for the Simon Fraser men of the NCAA era within GNAC competition. So a huge victory there. And we may be going right to the starting player introductions. So we will keep it right here. We'll let our producer Gabe Lynn know that we'll keep it right here. And the Simon Fraser University Clan, the Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks being set to be introduced. So Lexi Tubbs, a familiar name to Clan basketball fans, a 5'11 senior from Turlock, California. And she, in her senior year, has been one of the key Nighthawks. Of course, formerly known as the Crusaders. Number 10, McKenna Walker, as well as a 5'8 junior. Katie Merritt, number 22, is a 5'6 senior guard at Twin Falls, Idaho. Coco Gall, the 5'11 senior at Pasco, Washington, Hanford High School. And then Raquel Jardine is a 5'11 junior, a hometown girl out of Nampa, or home state girl anyway, out of Nampa, Idaho. So that is a very experienced Northwest Nazarene team with seniors and juniors spotting their lineup. Now, of course, we turn to the Simon Fraser team with no seniors on their team. And they're getting their introductions right now. Tia Sang in her sophomore season, wearing number 1. Taylor Dryden as well, a sophomore, wearing number 5, manning the point guard spot out of Spokane, Washington at Gonzaga Prep. Taylor Jackson, the junior out of Langley, British Columbia, Brookswood Secondary, and a transfer from Division I, Cal Irvine. Sophie Swan wears number 21 in her junior season out of Argyle Secondary in North Vancouver, the leading scorer and one of the best all-around players in the conference this season. And as well, number 33 is Jessica Jones from Richmond's R.A. McMass Secondary, a redshirt freshman and a three-point gunner in the starting lineup here for this very, very short bench Simon Fraser University women's basketball team, the Clan, 8 strong, as we get set for the opening tip. Nicole Vanderhelm, as we're pointed out, is was rehabbing that wrist injury, but it's flared up again for the second time in Nicole Vanderhelm's sideline. So a 7-person rotation with Claudia Hart and Kendall Sands, the only players available for head coach Bruce Langford and company here as we get set for the opening tip from the West Gym. Huge implications here as we look at Nicole Vanderhelm, the Holy Cross sensation who transferred to this program from the University of Santa Clara in the West Coast Conference. Tough break for the Clan and for Nicole to have to sit out here. It's going to be Lexi Tubbs set to jump against Taylor Jackson. Jackson winning the opening tip, and that's the point guard Taylor Drynan. Among the conference leaders in assists, at just over 4, Drynan with the basketball now. Back up top to Jones. Jessica Jones feeding Jackson in the post. A turnaround move. Taylor, very decisive, can't get that one to fall as they chase a loose ball out of bounds. Sophie Swan trying to squeeze it, couldn't do it. And here come the Nighthawks. What a fantastic season they've had for head coach Steve Steele in his second year. Really turned things around from last season. Here's 22, Katie Merritt, back up top. Jump shot, great form on the release there from Lexi Tubbs, no doubt about it. As Tubbs backs pedal, she wears the number 3, she strokes the 3, and it's a 3-0 lead for Northwest Nazarene. Swant now takes the feed from Drynan, turnaround. Sophie rattles it home. Northwest Nazarene ball in Lexi Tubbs' hands again, back up top, this time to McKenna Walker. Coco Gall wearing number 44, this time to 42, that's Raquel Jardine. Take to the basket there, impeded. McKenna Walker can't find the finish she wants, and here come the Clan. Drynan sang 3 in rhythm. Too strong off the back iron, a great rebound and seal underneath by Jardine. Gets the Nighthawks back down the court with Merritt. A 3 by Coco Gall. She's a 5'11 senior, as we mentioned, out of Pasco, Washington. Trailing on the play, but stops, pops, and drops the 3 in rhythm. 6-2, Northwest Nazarene. Great cut to the basket there by Sophie Swant, and that's a heart and soul kind of play as Swant battles her defender, fends her off, and gets into open territory for the pass and the tough shot as she cruises through the paint. 6-4 the score here, just over 2 minutes in. Jardine, turnaround move against Jackson off the window. And so Raquel Jardine showing some post moves with her back to the basket there, 8-4. And you don't get to be the second place team in the GNAC without being able to play inside out. And clearly Northwest Nazarene with a touch from outside and inside. Drynan comes to a jump stop, loses her pivot. Lexi Tubbs helps her up, but it's a turnover on the Clan. And so what Northwest Nazarene has shown you here in the first 2.5 minutes of play, their physicality and their strength down low. If you want to take it down and have a tussle down in the paint with this Nighthawks team, Jardine and Gall will make you pay the price. Swant, though, great defensive job there to rid McKenna Walker of the ball. Touch passes down the court, though. Jones is offering down low to Swant, gobbled up there by Gall. They'll go cross court now to Tubbs. Lexi hit the big 3 to open this game. Gall thought about the 3 as well. But there's Sophie. What effort from Sophie Swan. Is there a player in the GNAC who brings that level of hustle and compete to every possession? Sophie Swant is an absolute warrior. Jessica Jones will check out for Kendall Sands, and Taylor Jackson checking out Claudia Hart checking in. So a redshirt freshman in Hart out of Seacove Secondary in North Vancouver, a freshman from Charles Best in Coquitlam in the form of Kendall Sands. And that is the kind of experience, the extent of the experience Bruce Langford's going to bring off this young Clan bench. Simon Fraser, 6 wins in the league this season, but they're going to surrender the ball to Tubbs, and the experience of the senior as she outpowers Tia Sang to the basket. 10-4 Northwest Nazarene. And if you relax, they will put on a clinic. And you can see all the signs here early. Simon Fraser cannot take a possession off here. Here's Swan Sang cutting into the paint. Tia, what a great move into the paint. Northwest Nazarene fans in the gym not agreeing with that one. They're going to call the foul against Katie Merritt. Take a look at our Clan TV replay as Tia had to take it with purpose or she wasn't going to gain that edge getting into the low block area. She makes the basket to make it 10-6 and is going to step up to the free throw line. Oh, they're going to reverse the call. So they're going to reverse the call. Call an offensive foul. And you don't see that happen very often. So the argument going on right now, Bruce Langford, right in front of our broadcast location, the Clan coach, saying that Tia had already shot the ball, Tia Sang. So as we take a look at the replay, the question of continuation, already shot the ball before the foul is committed, and Langford is saying the basket counts. The officials have the final word. They say no. They take those 2 points off the board. So a big swing here for the Clan. Tia Sang with a chance to finish off a three-point play. Instead, the 2 points are taken off. The three-point play denied. And at the other end, defending Kendall Sands is going to get called for a foul. So we talk about these pressure points all the time here with both Clan men's and women's basketball. It's how you break down a basketball game. Things are not going the Clan's way right now. They're trailing by 2 possessions. They just picked up a foul. They have a short bench. They were denied a three-point play. How do you answer the call? Here's the Clan on defense, and we'll begin to see against a super quality Northwest Nazarene team here out of Nampa, Idaho. The feed inside to Lexi Tubbs, denied. Sang gets the defensive play. So there is a marker for you. Tia Sang, denied on one end, comes up with a stop on the senior veteran scoring leader of this Nazarene team on the other side. Tubbs coming into the game averaging 15.1 points per game. Here's Dryden. Shot clock edging towards 10 as Swant looks for a receiver, finds a cutting Claudia Hart. Wide swath to the basket. Hart can't make it count. And quickly down the floor with McKenna Walker come the Nighthawks. Tubbs with the basketball. Cross-court pass, 14 on the shot clock. 3 put up by Coco, and it's off the mark. Coco Gall with a miss there. Clan will bring their only 2 subs into the game in the form of Taylor Jackson and Jessica Jones at the next stoppage. We're past the midway mark of this opening quarter. Tough break there for the Clan. Had the goal within their sights down on the baseline, couldn't get the finish, and here come the Nighthawks again. Gall working off the Jardine screen. The 2 solid posts. Oh, what a great move there. And that is teamwork between a senior and a junior. Coco Gall and Raquel Jardine played off each other so well. At the other end of the floor, Sophie Swant, attempting to take a hard drive to the basket, is dispossessed of the ball, but it's going to go off the Nighthawks, and it will be Simon Fraser ball when we come out of this timeout. What a play by the 2 forwards on that Northwest Nazarene team. You look at their record and you wonder, how do they do it in terms of how do they exert themselves physically? And you see them setting screens for each other. You see them putting the ball on the floor and showing some open floor skill, even though their forte is going to be eating space underneath, sealing defenders, and making players pay the physical price. But just watching Gall and Jardine work the ball in a 2-person game there was impressive. As we are now at a timeout in time to bring you up to date on some of the stats in this game. What a great start for Northwest Nazarene. 5 of 8 from the field. They're shooting 63% from the field, including 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, to 12 points, with 5 apiece from Gall And 5 more from Lexi Tubbs, Raquel Jardine with 2. For Simon Fraser, they are shooting 2 of 6 from the field. 33%, it's early, but the Clan are struggling to find quality looks. They are, if you've watched obviously our broadcast over this opening quarter, making suicide runs through the paint, shooting shots off balance, and really not being allowed to get into a rhythm. They're scoring in a survivalist kind of way right now, and it can't last forever. Trailing by 8 here, 12-4. They got to get the offense going. Leading the way for the Clan, Sophie Swant. She's got all 4 of their points here, and she's got the basketball off the inbounds. Swant off the window. Oh, a great opportunity, can't get it to go. And the Clan got to dig back their heels on defense. Nazarene quickly down the floor. Turnaround shot there. Doesn't go, but Avery Albrecht, number 15, who's checked back into the game, got her ball back, recycled the clock, and here they are again. Albrecht with the basketball. Looking for Tubbs. A foul away from the play is going to give Simon Fraser back the basketball. Let's take one more look at the Tia Sang play underneath, or the, what are we looking at here? We're looking at Sophie Swamp with the basketball. Instead, we'll take you back to live action, but that certainly is worth some discussion in terms of the 3-point play that was taken off the board for Simon Fraser. Here's Jones with the basketball. Entry to Taylor, turnaround, push shot off the window. Taylor shooting from the hip. As she turns around in the paint and she knocks it down. Jackson has averaged almost 15 points a game over her last 5. And shooting a mighty percentage from the free throw line, so she's really contributing in the last 5 games. She's battled some illness this year, and bringing her leadership to this Simon Fraser team. Here's a jump shot for 3. That's off the back of the iron. Swant diving in for that loose ball. It goes off of her. It'll stay with the Nighthawks. Lexi Tubbs with that 3. We'll take a look here as Tia Sang. I don't know. I think that's a close one. But when she made contact with the player who had already had defensive position, Sang had not yet released the ball, clearly into her shooting motion, but the ball was still in her hands. Play on the baseline. They go to golf, spinorama move underneath, and she can't score it. Into the hands of Taylor Jackson with the rebound. Swant looks at a 3, likes it, off the back iron, and right into the hands of Jardine. Well, that's Danielle Jardine, excuse me. Clearly a sister of Raquel Jardine, number 42. Here's Katie Merritt. Go to Raquel Jardine, skip pass, looking for the cutting Tubbs, intercepted by Swant. Sophie will build up ahead of steam, just pulls up on that pivot foot, but it's going to turn the ball over. Intercepted by Albrecht. Tubbs down the floor. Oh, and Swant, don't get her mad. Sophie comes right back and takes it away. Dryden pull it up for 3, knocks it down. Taylor Dryden with a big triple. And for all of the hiccups Simon Fraser's had, they're only trailing by a possession here. Oh, and that's a bit of a, perhaps a break, even though they scored. Sophie Swant physically defending. No call there, but the basket made by the Nighthawks. A steal now, and Tubbs is so dangerous. She goes right down the floor, lays it up and in, and Simon Fraser wants time. Northwest Nazarene 16, Simon Fraser 9. We will take a short timeout and be back with more from the West Gym in just a moment.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is passion. Because to accomplish anything, you have to work for it. You need to love to work for it. My passion for basketball drives me to dedicate everything I have to it, day in and day out.
I have been waiting, I have been fighting for
I am Graham Miller, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA men's basketball team.
And we're back with you here at the West Gym. Apologies for joining you late. We're back to the action. 1 minute remaining in a 16-9 game here. Claudia Hart with the basketball. She feeds it down low. Jackson went after it, couldn't squeeze it. But it's going to end up going off of, I believe, Tubbs. And we'll stay with the Clan. 53.1 seconds left in the half, but only 5 on the shot clock here for Simon Fraser. As they get a quick hitter with Sang. Hart's going to put it up, beat the shot clock. Oh, almost got it to happen there. Can they get the loose ball? Tia Sang rips it away. And Drynan for 3. Bingo! Taylor Drynan! They turn a broken play into something special. As Drynan hits the triple. Clearly Tia Sang was supposed to shoot that shot, not put it on the deck. But Tia, despite the gaff, rips the ball away and feeds Drynan for the triple. Clan resilient here to trail by 4 against the number 2 team in the GNAC. Kendall Sands to Drynan, down to 6 on the shot clock. Claudia, off the window, Claudia Hart, great move, and that decisiveness really tells you Claudia Hart. Taylor Drynan steals it, and she nails it at the buzzer! Taylor Drynan with a huge play. Can you believe this? The Clan are leading the basketball game. What a huge turn of events for Simon Fraser. Started off with Tia Sang ripping the ball away that leads to the Drynan 3, then a great Claudia Hart basket off a great cut underneath. And then Taylor Drynan with ice in her veins knocks down the triple off a steal. And Simon Fraser with 8 points at the snap of a finger. As we look at the replay here, Claudia Hart going and carrying it off the window, and Taylor Drynan here with a big steal. Presence of mind, actually looked down at the 3 and drains it right at the buzzer. A great finish to the first quarter of play here for Simon Fraser. We talked about it off the top, playoff atmosphere here at the West Gym, must-win situation. As the Clan wonder how much they've let slip away in that battle for the 6th and final playoff spot. Claudia Hart, as she looks down the court, sees, hey, my teammate has stolen the ball, and she is going to knock down the triple. Taylor Drynan, what a great job. She did 3 of 3 from the field, all triples for Taylor Drynan. She leads the way with a game-high 9 points. Sophie Swan with 4, 2 apiece for Claudia Hart and Taylor Jackson. As the Clan shot 50%, 7 of 14 from the field. Northwest Nazarene 7 of 15, 47%. Led by the 7 points of Lexi Tubbs and the 5 points of Coco Gall, also known as Colette Gall. Simon Fraser doing what they need to do in a sense of the dramatic there to end the opening quarter of play. But there's still 30 minutes left here. And it will be a battle against the cream of the crop of the GNAC. The jumper off the mark there by McKenna Walker. Northwest Nazarene recruiting right through that, obviously Idaho, but Washington and Oregon area to stop this team for head coach Steve Steele. Great move there, and it's going to fall. I believe that was Albrecht. Indeed, Avery Albrecht, the 5'9" sophomore, one of the younger players on the team out of La Grande, Oregon. That's a big basket that puts her team right back on top. This time the lofting pass inside the Jackson picked off by Jardine. Raquel Jardine, Albrecht now. They go to McKenna Walker. Here's Albrecht driving. Wow, Avery Albrecht is got a nice explosive dribble, and she knows her angles off the window. So a 1-point Clan lead, now a 3-point Clan deficit. Northwest Nazarene with a 20-17 lead. Sang jumping up to meet that pass is going to get fouled by Albrecht. Not a lot of fouls called in the men's game, and boy, was that the first foul called in this game? The first team foul? Second quarter, sorry. First foul of the second quarter. Oh, and a big three there from Jessica Jones. Double three knocks down the triple. A huge shot there to tie the game. Albrecht gets the inside edge, can't score it. A second chance opportunity for Jardine underneath, doesn't go. She gets another opportunity, and this time whistles blow in the paint. But Danielle Jardine with the motor underneath. There's Jones with that three. Look at that release and that high arcing shot. As we mentioned, what an incredible scoring performance from Kadar Salam. In front of his mother, who had come out from Toronto, and his old high school coach, Kadar Salam, surrounded by family and friends, had a huge game in Simon Fraser's big win over Alaska. And we mentioned that Kadar could hit those threes blindfolded. You see Jessica Jones, you wonder if she couldn't do the same thing. That release is so perfect. And a high arcing jumper falls through, but it's a 22-20 lead here for Northwest Nazarene. Cross-court pass. Jones driving, squaring, dropping it down. Jessica Jones, get out that instructional shooting video there. She ties it at 22 with beautiful form. Jardine, though, at the other end, Danielle Jardine, the 5'11 junior, knocks it down. Klein will sub one player into the game for the first time, just one player at a sub, and that's going to be Claudia Hart to come into the next stoppage. McKenna Walker back up top. They'll move it around here to Albrecht. She goes back up top. Jardine was on the line. It's too strong off the back iron. They get different offerings from the two Jardine twins, but both of them capable of diving into the post and playing solid defense down there, as we see Jackson being guarded. Swant to a jump stop to Tia Sang. Swant sets a screen. Instead they go to Jones. They reverse the ball to the other side of the floor. Here's Drynan pivoting up top to Taylor, 4 on the shot clock. Jackson drives, draws the contact, and gets it to fall. Taylor turns on the motor, gets to the glass, and will step up to the free throw line. So Drynan now checking out of the game. Kendall Sands, 15, is checked into the game. Claudia Hart still seated at the minor officials table. Or in front of. Game knotted at 24. And Jones now with the basketball. Pushes it quickly up to Swant. They move it around the perimeter. Jackson wants the feed. Instead, she'll go high-low from Swant, and Sophie dropping a dime to Taylor down low for the lay-in. So Jackson getting in a bit of a groove. Clan with a 2-point lead at 26-24. Jardine jumper off the mark. Sands with the rebound. Raquel Jardine there, one half of the twin combo. Jones puts up the shot, can't get it to go, follows her miss, and chases it down. Swant now back up top to Sang. Caught it in rhythm, instead will drive and looks to kick. Skip pass to Jackson. Sophie drives underneath on the baseline. And the block's gonna get called. In a demonstrative fashion by the official against Avery Albrecht. As Taylor Jackson takes a seat, Claudia Hart will come in. Jackson with a solid stint on the floor. Love those decisive calls from the officials. Kendall Sands to inbounds with a new shot clock. 6:01 to the half. They go to Hart underneath. Claudia tries to muscle her way, can't do it. And the ball into the hands of Gall. Quickly the ball pushed up the floor now for Northwest Nazarene. Avery Albrecht. Coco Gall on the floor, right to the window, can't score it. And great hustle underneath by the Clan gets them the basketball. Kendall Sands, great pass on the dish to Jones. Can't score it. The two freshmen charging down the court. It looked like they were going to get a Lakers Showtime basket there. Didn't happen. So Northwest Nazarene now with the basketball. Katie Merritt to hand off to Albrecht. Albrecht, the drive and the dish off the mark, looking for Lexi Tubbs in the corner. So disruptive when they need to be. The Clan defense getting it done. The scoreboard has been locked at 26-24 for the last couple of possessions by both teams. As the clock now ticks towards the midway mark of this second quarter of play. Swat back to Jones, 3 in rhythm. Just off the mark, chased down. Nope. Nazarene will get it ahead of Kendall Sands in the corner. That was good hustle from Katie Merritt. Merritt will get the ball back quickly down to McKenna Walker. Walker looking for Tubbs. As we mentioned, leading scorer on this team, 15.1 per game, and she plays the perfect carom off the glass to tie this game at 26. Here's Sands, little hesitation dribble, kicks back to Jones, cross-court pass. Hart, Sang, 3-ball. Just off the mark by Tia. And Tubbs now with the basketball, Swat in full chase. 3 from the baseline corner, won't go, Swat with a rebound. So the offense is slowed down, we're locked at 26, and both these teams have measured each other over this opening half of play. We're trailing by, I believe, 8 at one point at 12-4. Here's Sands, thought about the 3. The drive. And they're going to call the foul on Northwest Nazarene. It's going to go against Katie Merritt. So Katie Merritt will get called for the foul. Great takes there, but a timeout on the floor. We'll take one as well and be back with more. Knotted at 26 here from the West Gym on Clan TV.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is opportunity, because I can continue to pursue my Olympic dream as a swimmer while receiving a top quality Canadian education. I know that whichever path I take after graduation, I am well prepared for it. I am Adrian Vanderhelm, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA swim team.
And back with you here on Clan TV, knotted at 26. We want to let you know about the upcoming women's basketball game. Hope you can join us on Saturday, February the 17th, 5:15 p.m. for Central Washington against Simon Fraser. A shout out to our friends in Allensburg. Clan TV, the place to be to catch Simon Fraser and Central Washington, game 1 of a GNAC doubleheader. Pink Game 2018 and the Hicklestock Boy Band. A great night of entertainment planned up here. Come early, get your seats, and celebrate in the West Gym. The Simon Fraser basketball has another doubleheader. The late stages of this 2017-18 GNAC season. Back to live action. Sophie Swant, double team quickly comes. Dryman, though, finds the seam, and Taylor loved the confidence in that beautiful runner to smooch it off the window for the lay-in. Sea just parted. Dryman took it right to the window. But at the other end of the court, it's going to be Gall driving the ball right at the redshirt freshman Claudia Hart. And that is a tough check, shall we say. Claudia Hart comes over to talk to head coach Bruce Langford about it. Get some refinement in terms of how she'll defend that the next time. Gall, though, steps up and knocks the first one down, making it a 1-point game. She can tie the game here with a make for the Nighthawks, and she does just that. Tell me a team Coco Gall couldn't help in this conference. Any team would love to have that 5'11 senior as part of their group. Just so versatile. Great athleticism along with the strength she brings. Sophie Swant, very similar. And her shot in the paint is going to go. The Clan retake the lead at 30-28. Carly Parker now into the game wearing number 30. A touch on that possession. The ball goes down low and doesn't result in a point. Simon Fraser wanting a foul on the physical play underneath Swan. Quickly underneath the heart. And Claudia, under some duress, tried to kiss it off the window, couldn't do it. Contact underneath though. It's going to stay Simon Fraser ball. Bruce Langford not happy with the physicality. That's going unchecked against his team. Let the officials know here in the late going of the first half of play. Down to under 3 minutes remaining in the half. Jones with the basketball quickly to Hart at the high post. Claudia, nice pass to Drynan on the baseline. Taylor guarded by Gall, who comes out beyond the three-point arc to guard her. Hart comes to set the high screen, 8 on the shot clock now as she weaves her way inside. Skip pass to Sophie underneath, off the window. And Sophie Swant puts a cap on a great possession there by the Clan. It's a 4-point Simon Fraser lead against the number 2 team in the GNAC. Northwest Nazarene, a terrific season. They come in with only 3 losses in conference play this season. There's a take by Parker to the basket. Wow, and look at that effort underneath as she crashes through the floor. McKenna Walker couldn't squeeze it for her team. Here's Drynan, full tempo down the court. Just took it a little too strong off the glass, but look what she found, a loose ball. 16 on the shot clock now. Jessica Jones, Swant, she will drive. Put it up off balance and a Sophie special off the window. A timeout on the floor. We'll keep it right here as we take a look at Sophie Swant in the paint in her office. And that's what Sophie Swant does so well. A lot of what Sophie Swant does isn't traditional. Maybe it's not what you show on a video, but she knows her release point. She knows how to square her body. She has great athleticism and body control underneath. And the biggest thing she has is a huge heart, a huge motor underneath to attempt these shots that come at funny angles, ones you wouldn't think would have the roll, but they find their way home more times than not, and that tells you something about how she practices this game and how she just reps things till they become natural to her. They might not look like they're the most natural, but what a great effort there by Swant and the Clan, I believe, right now with their largest lead of the game at 6 points, 34-28 with 1:52 remaining. Here's a look at the shot from Swant that finds favor with the iron here at the West Gym. Hope anyone doesn't take that as a criticism. I love Sophie Swant's game. Just have admired it, and the ethic, the motor, everything since high school at Argyle Secondary in North Vancouver. What a player she has turned out to be here for the Clan. A season where they've needed physicality and tough post play, and they've needed a leader. There she has been, number 21, as she steps up to the free throw line. Concordia with a 77-54 lead in the fourth quarter. Deficit. I'm apologies. I'm having a little trouble hearing producer engineer Galen, but that is the score. Concordia trailing by a significant margin in the fourth quarter. So Simon Fraser can be inspired by that score. And certainly, I hope the coaching staff, from their perspective, lets them know. Or maybe they won't. Maybe they're just saying, hey, Simon Fraser, just do what you need to do here. Continue to battle against one of the best teams in the GNAC, because Northwest Nazarene is a 40-minute proposition, clearly. And they will come out even stronger in the second half. There's no question about that. Stepping up to the free throw line is going to be Katie Merritt, and she swishes the first. Dayla Jackson sprinting off the bench. A miss on the second by Merritt. And here comes Drynan. Drynan weaves her way out of trouble. Dish to Sophie. Has it batted away there for a second by Merritt, but regains control. Claudia Hart Tia Sang back up top to Taylor Drynan. 10 on the shot clock, 1:13 and a half. Here comes Taylor Drynan, pivoting. Cross-court pass to Tia for three. Ooh, it looked like she got that one off in time, but they are saying no. .102 remaining and a stop by Northwest Nazarene. Nazarene now with 15 on the shot clock. Back up top to Money, and it is indeed Lexi Tubbs who knocks down the big triple. From the top, what a player Lexi Tubbs as she pulls her team to within a possession. 35-32, pressure full court being mounted by Northwest Nazarene. Swan breaks it as she crosses half court. 6-second difference on the clocks here as Jones now with the basketball. Drynan susses up the situation. 12-10 on the shot clock now for Simon Fraser. Jones now with the basketball. Thought about the three instead to Taylor. Drynan will put up a long distance three just off the back iron, and Jardine with the rebound. Chance for a last second shot here as the visitors take a look at the basket. Can't get a shot off in time, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. Simon Fraser in a must-win situation as they continue their battle for that sixth and final playoff spot and put themselves in the position they want to be in, a 35-32 lead at the half. They have a 3-point lead right now. And we will welcome in the point guard, Taylor Drynan. Taylor, thanks for joining us here. Talk about the effort that it's taken to, put yourselves in a great position here after one half.
We focused a lot this week on a couple of things that we struggled with last time. So I think we've found our open shots a lot more. We're getting our shots, which is what we want. So I think that's why we're having a bit of success. And if we continue to do that in the second half, get on the boards a little more, I think we should be good to go.
Talk about the plays at the end of the quarter in terms of the steal and the big three. How much did that get you guys going?
Oh, it was good. Yeah, I think it got my team going a bit, and then we need to keep momentum. And like I said, if we do that, I think we're going to take control of this game. Got to come out in the third quarter, though, and first 4 minutes are going to be crucial, like always. Really got to set a statement there. Is it a cliche to say must win and desperation are key words for you guys? I hate to say it, but yes, definitely. All right, we'll go get them in the second half. Thank you so much, Taylor Drynan. Your point guard with the Simon Fraser clan joining us after a first half in which Simon Fraser owns a 35-32 lead. Howard Samura back with more from the West Gym in just a moment.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is tradition. Because year after year, players old and new step onto the court with a unified goal to strive to be the best. It is the belief that maintaining a winning tradition is a competitive battle worth fighting for. I am Sophie Swant, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA women's basketball team.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Welcome to Caption This. My name is Taylor Jackson. I'll be your host for the evening, along with my co-host, Scamp. So, caption this. I'm going to pick out a picture. It's going to be an action shot. You guys are going to have 10 seconds to come up with the most hilarious and suitable caption. Got it?
Yep, sounds good.
Go.
Okay.
What's it going to be?
Okay, I like it. Yeah.
Team 1.
When you regret the shot as you take it.
Funny. Like it. Okay. Team 2.
I just ate cheese and I'm not feeling so good.
Okay, that's good. For those of you that don't know, Sophie is lactose intolerant. That's funny. Okay, I'm going to have to give that one to Team 2.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yikes. Oh, yikes, hey? Are we ready?
When you think you can dab.
Oh, okay. So, I know I can dab. Right?
Our caption is just before you hit a gnarly dab.
Hey, because you're like, almost like you really got to sneeze, right?
You're sucking up.
Hey,
Come on.
I'm gonna have to give it to team 1 because you guys pretty much said I couldn't dab, and they pretty much said that I was gonna do an amazing dab.
Ooh.
Team 2, what you got?
All right. Jones is saying, ew, why is she touching me?
It's pretty good.
Okay, we're taking defeat. We're asking you, Taylor.
All right. I would say when you're driving into an underground parking garage and you're not sure if the van's gonna scrape the top of the bar. But that's just me.
That's actually good.
Go.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay, team 1. What's it gonna be?
Our caption is, when someone in that crowd needs a shower.
Team 2.
Sophie, was that you? Not again. Oh, this is
a little tag team. That was so cute.
Yeah, you know, teamwork makes the dream
Honestly,
work.
I'm gonna give this one to team 2 because I thought it was really cute how you guys kind of like tag teamed it. You know. Oh, this one.
What am I doing? Statue of Liberty. Good job. Look at your face in the back. Yeah,
I know. There's so many things going on.
Disgusted.
I won.
Okay, when Taylor finally stops coughing on a road trip. Oh.
But why would I be sad?
No, you're happy. You're happy.
You're like
Bruh,
relieved. You're like,
yeah, that's a
this
relief
is like a
face.
look of like.
No, that
Anyways, okay, team 2, what's it gonna be?
When Taylor Jackson finally passes her first conditioning test at SFU.
That was actually this year, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Round of applause. Congratulations. Can
Everyone's
we not
dusting.
ignore Taylor though? Like, I feel like she's gonna be in like Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Like, Loki.
I like theirs because theirs was positive and yours was kind of positive, but it was also kind of like
shots.
Insinuating that like I never pass anything.
Oh no, girl. No.
Yeah.
What is my neck?
Team number 1, what you got?
That feeling when you need to bust a move mid-game.
Okay, team 2.
Well, it's a good shot of me. You sound so nervous. Okay. So Taylor has a demo of what we're trying to explain, but when you're still trying to learn that new dance move everyone's getting
Board
down.
breaker or
show
whatever
us
it's
what
called?
you got. Is that what it's called? Can we all do it?
Hey.
Oh, she's
hey.
good.
Looks like our winner is team 2. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you so much for joining us on our first ever episode of Caption This. We look forward to seeing you back here soon. Make sure you come out to a game.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is opportunity, because I can continue to pursue my Olympic dream as a swimmer while receiving a top quality Canadian education. I know that whichever path I take after graduation, I am well prepared for it. I am Adrian Vanderhelm, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA swim team.
I've been playing basketball for, I'd say around 8-9 years. My dad played when he was in high school, and every morning from grade 8 to 12, I want to say, he would be rebounding for me every single morning. I would walk into his room and say, "Dad, we gotta go to the gym." And we would head up to the gym and just shoot and have a great time together. That's how I kind of discovered the game, and then I ended up falling in love with it.
That is the beginning of the relationship between Nicole Vanderhelm and the game of basketball. Over the years, she has dedicated a lot of time and effort into her craft, and as a result, she developed a diverse set of skills that make her special on the court.
My biggest strength is versatility, so I can play inside and out. I can bring up the ball if needed, I can post up, and definitely I'm a very aggressive player, so I bring that hustle, kind of blue-collared athlete, and as Bruce would say, a little bit of vinegar to the mix, meaning a little bit of not so much attitude, but just aggressiveness and get after it mentality.
A native of Surrey, Nicole returned home to BC to join the Clan women's basketball program after spending 2 years at Division I Santa Clara University. She has had 3 different coaches since graduating from Holy Cross Regional High School, and that hasn't been easy for the redshirt sophomore.
Having 3 different coaches was definitely a challenge, but one thing I've discovered through it all is you need to do what makes you happy, and I know that sounds cliche, but just finding that coach that allows you to be yourself and truly wants you to become a better person on and off the court is very important. And just being able to play and see my parents in the stands, that's very rewarding.
Although she is new to the program, Nicole had played with several Clan players in the past. And as someone who has more experience, she understands what it takes for a young team to achieve success in a competitive conference and region.
I've played with just Taylor at one point and Sophie, so it was nice to be able to come to a team where I was a little bit familiar with them. And since we are so young, I feel like the way that we're going to win games sometimes is being aggressive and the hustle plays. So I feel like doing the intangibles will help the team succeed. A lot of girls are playing minutes that they didn't think that they would, which is great. It helps their confidence. It helps the team really come together. We're not the most experienced team out there, but we work very, very hard, and I think that the team chemistry will come.
For Nicole, results certainly matter, but what is even more important is that she is enjoying herself and having fun in the process.
For me, I'd say the most exciting thing about basketball is just like going to war with your teammates. I'm a very competitive player, and obviously you can't really possess that in all areas of life. So being able to just go on the court and be that aggressive, hardworking player and just going to war with your teammates, doing it for your coach, that's probably the funnest part of the game for me.
When I first came to SFU, I thought I knew exactly what I wanted. When I got into my second semester, I suddenly wasn't so sure what I wanted to do anymore. So I started to explore a little bit. Archaeology, communications, history, even kinesiology. And then I decided to go on exchange to France for a year. I was an orientation leader for a year, became a community advisor in residence, helped start a choir, I even took a rowing course. After SFU, I have lots of possibilities of what I could do, but whatever I do, I know I'll be ready for it.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is passion. Because to accomplish anything, you have to work for it. You need to love to work for it. My passion for basketball drives me to dedicate everything I have to it, day in and day out. I am Graham Miller, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA men's basketball team.
To me, one word to describe competing for SFU is determination, because I am surrounded by teammates who face adversity but persevere to achieve success. That persistence motivates and drives me to better myself on and off the mat. I am Peyton Smith, and I am proud to be on the SFU women's wrestling team.
And we're back with you on Clan TV. Jessica Wallace, the assistant coach, joining us. And thanks for joining us, Coach. Your thoughts on the energy and the enthusiasm you guys showed in that first half of play?
Well, we talked about that coming in, that we got to leave it all on the floor. This is a very good team. They're very competitive, and I think we're pretty impressed in the first half with how we've come out.
Can you talk about that right now? I talked to Taylor Drynan briefly about it at the half, the urgency, the playoff atmosphere that is already within your last 4 games of the season, right?
Absolutely, right? We have, we got to leave, like I said, leave it all on the floor, and I think the girls are doing a good job of coming in, finding our shots, doing what we have to do, and playing our game. So I think if we keep that up, we'll be okay in the second half.
Sophie Swant, as I mentioned on the broadcast, is so courageous in the way she plays on the court. A lot of what she does might not seem the most traditional, but it has a way of working. How do you explain how Sophie gets things done on the court?
You know, Sophie has a lot of energy, and I think it always works for us, and I think it makes her difficult to guard. She can do a lot. She can shoot the three, she can drive, she can post up, so I think she's a pretty diverse player. And I think that's what we need right now.
Northwest Nazarene, last question, Coach. They don't come in here with that record for no reason at all. You would think that they will refortify, retrench, and come out even hungrier in the second half.
Absolutely. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure in the second half, and I think if we can take care of the basketball, it'll be an exciting game.
All right, thanks for joining us. That's Jessica Wallace, the Clan assistant coach, with her thoughts on what has to happen here for her team as we take a look at the Clan TV graphic chart. And Simon Fraser, what a first half to shoot 50% from the field. A great job there, 4 of 10 from beyond the arc, holding Northwest Nazarene to 38.7%. And our producer Gabe Lynn, as we chatted before the game, had mentioned the great job that Northwest Nazarene does in shutting down opposition three-point shooting. Tops in the GNAC, but Simon Fraser able to hit it at a 40% clip. Solid effort there from Simon Fraser, but the free throw chips, boy. 2 free throw chips for the Clan, 6 in total for Northwest Nazarene. Not a lot of fouls called. The rebounds are soft. The Clan, though, with 9 assists, moved the ball well and did a decent job of restricting their turnovers. It's why they've got a 3-point lead here as you get down to under a minute remaining. And we should let you know that the standings are now updated. Gabe Lynn, thanks for the quick update. Concordia losing tonight, so their record remains at 7-11. Simon Fraser sitting at 6-10. So if Simon Fraser wins, they would move into a tie for the 7th spot in the conference, with then 3 more games remaining. And of course, the top 6 are going to make it. Alaska Anchorage, Northwest Nazarene, Seattle Pacific already in. The next 3 go as well. Simon Fraser wants to be one of those, and what a finish they would have to the season. Jessica Wallace mentioned it, Taylor Dryden mentioned it, Bruce Langford, just walking in front of our broadcast location, knows it too. The playoffs have arrived early here at Burnaby Mountain for this 4-game GNAC regular season ending homestand. And we're ready to play the final half of our first of 4 straight at home here for the Simon Fraser University Clan, who lead it by 3. And Northwest Nazarene in black. And they are going from left to right on your computer screen. Defensive stand there by the Clan. See Lexi Tubbs helping up Tia Sang, who took a hard tumble. We certainly hope Tia is well. For what she provides from the guard spot and the physicality she can bring as well. Certainly this already thin Clan team, as we take a look here on the replay. Sophie getting in position for the block, and Tia is off behind us here, and I'm not too sure what happened. Oh, she got her right foot caught up there on Lexi Tubbs. A really innocent looking play, but perhaps hyperextending something, and she's out of the game now. The trainer Ellen Kett, the former Clan great point guard, seeing to her. Here's Coco Gall. Ball up court to Merritt. They go right to the basket with Gall, and she's going to finish it. Coco Gall is a terrific player, and the pressure now coming. So as we talked about with Jessica Walsh, the Clan assistant coach, that intensity that was going to happen, and Taylor Dryden said it too, the first 4 minutes of this second half are going to be essential. And you can see that Northwest Nazarene has come shot out of a cannon here, trying to make a statement in the early going. Go underneath Sands, falling, no call there, and Tubbs knocks down the shot just inside the arc. 36-35, Nazarene with a 1-point lead. Clan pressure point number 2 of this game. They've got to weather this from their perspective. And that's not going to be easy when Northwest Nazarene amps it up. Great take to the basket there. Sands can't finish it. Jackson can't squeeze the loose ball. It's going to go out of bounds. Head coach Steve Steele almost at half court as he encourages his Nighthawks. Underneath to Jackson, Taylor plays the carom perfectly. The quick hitter off the inbounds play is good, and the Clan lead by 1. Danielle Jardine, number 24, will check in. Sister Raquel already in the game wearing number 42. Tubbs to Gall, corner to McKenna Walker, 3-ball, swirls out of the cylinder and out. And a hard fall taken there by Jardine underneath the basket. Sands, Kendall to the glass, and she lays it up and in. Kendall Sands following on the play. And the pure freshman with a nice basket there to give the Clan a 3-point lead. Nazarene come right down the floor. Turnaround by McKenna Walker won't go. Jardine with a rebound to Tubbs. They're getting multiple opportunities here. To a cutting McKenna Walker. And that's execution from Northwest Nazarene. Take a look at the replay though as Kendall Sands. They take to the basket there, the Dr. Charles Best Blue Devil. Go back 12 months from today, and she indeed was playing BC Girls High School basketball. Of course, Kendall Sands, a great high school career, played in the BC High School All-Star Game, enjoyed that high school experience, and came up here not knowing if she was going to see much playing time this season. And here she is in the main rotation of an 8-player team, battling for its playoff life. Here's another one in Jessica Jones. Swamp feeding Jackson. Up fake, Jackson trying to get the touch shot, soft touch off the window. And as she takes the tumble, the Nighthawks with the basketball. Tubbs, catch and shoot 3, underneath, and that is the one that you don't want to see happen. Raquel Jardine gets inside position on Sophie. Swamp gets the offensive board in the putback, an easy basket underneath for a 1-point lead. Teams have answered each other with amazing consistency throughout this basketball game. And here comes the Clan's turn as Dryden drives baseline. Jardine, the seal there, the kick back out to Swamp, the movement into the middle. Turnaround shot off the front of the iron, just lacking by Taylor Jackson. Tubbs the feed. Turnaround move by Jardine underneath. And both of the Jardine sisters, what a job they do. That was Danielle with a turnaround move and a 3-point lead. Sands, barreling into her check defensively. Kendall Sands brings on the physicality. And as we take a look, boy, you just certainly hope that Danielle Jardine didn't hit her head there. Great look at the play by our Clan TV replay. Super slow-mo from the top of Burnaby Mountain. Inbounds pass. Swan now with the basketball. Sophie's going to put up the 3 off the side of the goal. Loose ball picked up by Sands. Absorbs a hip check, goes to Swant in the corner. Sophie on the baseline, kicking to Taylor. Tough sledding. Taylor off the window, draws the contact. And Taylor Jackson has had to work for everything she's gotten on the court tonight, and she pays the physical price underneath. Take a look at this replay off the inbounds. Our Clan TV replay. So Taylor Jackson set to step up. And Taylor getting set to shoot some free throws here. That clip told you anything. It's the physicality that's being played in this basketball game. Swan to Jackson at the forward spots. Jones at a swing spot along with the guards. Kendall Sands and the point guard Taylor Dryden right now on the floor for Simon Fraser. 6:14 left in the third quarter, as you can see. Taylor gets the rattle and the roll there to make it a 1-point game. Simon Fraser trails by 1. Northwest Nazarene certainly has their postseason future secure, but certainly don't want to have some slippage here late. There's a 3-ball hoisted in and out, finds its way down, and basketball gods could not take that one away from Katie Merritt. Too much right about that shot for number 22 as she hustles back down the floor to try and strip Sophie Swan of the basketball. Dryden for 3. Taylor Dryden with a big triple. Much needed basket for Simon Fraser to keep pace here with Northwest Northwest Nazarene as we reach the midway mark of the third quarter. Tubbs with the basketball back up top to Albrecht, now check back into the game, number 15. She's got a great explosive first step. Here's McKenna Walker, skips it on the baseline to number 22, Katie Merritt, who drops the 3 ball. So Nazarene now with a 4-point lead. Simon Fraser needs to be focused. They can't be afforded to taking bad shots here. Drynan drives, scoop off the window. Taylor Drynan, big basket. McKenna Walker wants to get those 2 back, doesn't. Jessica Jones quickly leading her team back up the floor. 2-on-2 down the floor. Tubbs comes down and disrupts, and that's a veteran coming right down the floor, disrupting the chemistry between Jessica Jones and Sophie Swan as we take a look on the Clan TV replay. And Taylor Drynan, and I think it's time to talk about number 5 from Gonzaga Prep. What a player she's becoming now in her 2nd season. A great opportunity to mentor under the Aussie Ellen Kent. We look at the 3 ball here from Drynan, hoisted. And as you look at the backspin on that basketball, nails the triple there. But Taylor Drynan really showed her ability in Spartan Minutes last season to be a blue chip facilitator, and that's what she was going to be in terms of her number 1 option. But you know what? She's got to be a scorer too, and that's what we're seeing in this game, perhaps more than any this year, is that just that realization that she can chip in offensively. And we're starting to see more and more, of course, the big steal. And I asked Taylor about that. If you're watching on our halftime interview with Taylor Drynan, she got a steal off of a make by Claudia Hart and nailed the 3 at the first quarter buzzer. Nonetheless, a buzzer beater and a big shot at that time for Simon Fraser, who are coming into this game as huge underdogs. I asked Taylor Drynan about that shot, and the expression on her face, a big laugh, a big smile, meaningful. And clearly as the point guard on this basketball team, watch her right now as she talks to veterans, the 2 juniors, Swan and Jackson coming out of that timeout. Leadership being shown by number 5. From the moment she was signed by Bruce Langford, a big smile on his face, and certainly Taylor Drynan was a terrific with a capital T point guard throughout her U.S. high school career, and the U.S. player rare in this Clan program, Clan women's program under Bruce Langford. 4:32 remaining, third quarter. Skip to Jardine, a turnaround, plays a tough angle, and that is a tough break for Taylor Jackson. Having to body up strength on strength versus Jardine, especially when she's got some aggressive turnaround moves, is a tough one. Taylor Jackson getting called for the foul, only her first, the 3rd team foul. So Jardine now at the free throw line. Tubbs with a big play there. Clan at one of their danger points right now. Parker Albrecht's jump shot is going to find favor. It hugs every part of the iron and decides it's going to fall, and all of a sudden Northwest Nazarene is hitting shots and putting on defensive pressure. Ripping off the mask, so to speak, and showing the GNAC second best record. And that defensive pressure forces a turnover between Jones and Kendall Sands. So here it comes for Simon Fraser, time to step up big time defensively. Really need to put on their best face here. Ooh, a tough break there. Kendall Sands guarding Avery Albrecht, going to get called for the foul. Tia Sang and Claudia Hart will check into this game. There's a timeout on the floor. We're going to keep it here. And look at these young players. Jessica Jones, the redshirt freshman. Kendall Sands, the pure freshman. Claudia Hart, the redshirt freshman. Taylor Drynan, the sophomore. So many young players on this basketball team. And the bright side of this season, the young talent is just going to keep on getting better and better and better. We'll take a look at that in this clip we have right now for you on Clan TV.
I think
To me, one word to describe competing for
we've got a
SFU.
lot of playing time for some very young players. Well, I think the brightest side to us is that we've got a lot of playing time for some very young players. We've got a lot of experience. We've shown some growth from that experience. It's not enough to just play. You got to play and get better at some things, and we have gotten better at some things. We've had very little luck in terms of injuries, in terms of things that have gone on. We've played, undermanned every single game we played this year. We've mostly had 7. We've occasionally had 8. We've sometimes had 6. But we've shown some growth in some areas, and we need to be physically stronger, and we need to take care of the ball a little better, and then we just have to find a way to rebound way better than we do.
And we're back live here in our, thanks to producer Gabe Lynn for that clip on the future of the young players on this Simon Fraser Clan team. So many of them on the floor right now in this 7-player rotation. 7 players taking on number 2 of the GNAC here. The Simon Fraser Clan decided underdogs heading in on their home court. Tia Sang back into this game, so good to see Tia back after being helped off the court. Little ankle ding seems to not be serious enough to keep her away. 9. We'll check that 8-point deficit here for Northwest Nazarene. As demonstrative as we've heard Bruce Langford all game in that last timeout, imploring his ladies on what has to happen here down the stretch drive. Jardine, a physicality, her calling card, and she barrels her way in the paint. That is a tough one. It's now a 10-point lead for Northwest Nazarene. Here's Sang. Sands. Tia, 3. Just off the mark. They did a great job to manufacture that opportunity for her. She can't get it to fall underneath. The foul going to get called against Claudia Hart of the Clan, number 13. Claudia's second foul of the game. Katie Merritt now bringing the ball across half court. She has Carly Parker and Raquel Jardine, as well as number 15, Avery Albrecht. Albrecht shot clock down to 7, makes her move to the basket, plays the angle off the window. And Northwest Nazarene is all about their execution right now. They bring the full court pressure as well. Jones dribbles back into the pressure, but finally crosses half court. Trying a little hesitation, cross court pass to Sang, 3-ball Jones. Big one, they need it, won't go. And Tia Sang crashes into the crowd trying to get that loose ball. Lexi Tubbs is going to get called for the foul, the senior. As we take a look at the replay here on the Clan TV monitor, over the head of Claudia Hart, but over to Tia Sang. The no-look dish there. Jones unable to knock down the 3-ball. Back to live action now. Skip to Hart from Drynan is thwarted by Northwest Nazarene. And Katie Merritt now with the basketball. Albrecht wants to work off the Jardine. Give and go. They go high-low underneath, and Jardine will kick it, but batted out of bounds by Tia Sang. Sophie Swanton, number 21, checking back into the game for Simon Fraser. Taylor Drynan taking a much-needed break here. And we'll see with this conglomeration on the floor, Kendall Sands kind of morphs into the point guard. Here she comes, number 15, down the floor, the pure freshman against this senior-laden Northwest Nazarene team. Can't learn any better or under more duress than Kendall Sands is doing tonight. Here's Claudia Hart, great little fake there. She goes across the Jones 14-minute shot clock. Jess is dispossessed of the ball, but Tia Sang hustling in to get it. They save it, 9 on the shot clock. Bit of a fire drill here now for the Clan. They go to Sophie, though, in her office, is blocked by Albrecht. Good job by Avery Albrecht. She can do everything. She does not start for this team, but she goes the distance underneath. The garbage scooped up underneath by Raquel Jardine, and the foul called against Simon Fraser is going to be Jessica Jones being called for the foul. So Jones with her first in the game. Taylor Jackson off the bench for Simon Fraser. Northwest Nazarene on their best run of the game here. Have built the lead to 12. Claudia Hart comes out, Jackson goes in. It's all about getting a breather, replenishing those fluids and getting ready to come back into action for this 7-player Clan team. Back to Taylor Jackson, back up top to Jones. Jessica looks up at the clock, a minute left in the quarter. Up top to Swan, wants to find Jackson, too well guarded, so they go to Kendall Sands. Kendall drives baseline, crosscourt pass to Jackson, or for Jones for 3. Jess Jones just off the mark. Taylor Jackson disrupted, grabs the ball. Ooh, and Taylor Jackson. Taylor Jackson grabs the basketball, and if you want to see aggressive move by Taylor Jackson, this is going to be it as you look at your Clan TV replay. Rebound comes off Taylor Jackson with a forearm. And it's up to the viewing audience to see if Taylor actually used enough force to knock Jardine down. Jardine is a very stout player. But Taylor uses the body language alone, aggressively trying to shake her defender underneath the basket. That's what it's all about here. We've heard it from players and coaches on the Clan, the playoff atmosphere tonight as we take a look at this replay. Taylor taking no prisoners underneath right now and a different angle view. I think that was pretty legitimately Jackson's strength that made that happen. The timeout set to come to an end. Taylor Jackson showing the physicality. Certainly not a disinterested participant in the paint tonight as she is fighting for her life and the basketball underneath in the painted area against Raquel Jardine. So 47.3 seconds left in this third quarter of play. Sophie Swant addressing the charges in the Clan huddle right now. Jessica Jones, the 3-ball just off the mark. Jackson's trying to swat it away. There from number 22, Katie Merritt, and somehow gets possession of the ball. In comes Jardine, and the wrestling match ensues. So they've fouls called on both Jardine and Taylor Jackson. Taylor with a miss on the second free throw. Now we'll go to the other end of the floor. And Lexi Tubbs is going to shoot these free throws. Jackson came into the game shooting in the high 80s. The Clan, the best free throw shooting team in the GNAC this season. Jackson missing 1 of 2 there. If anything, the break welcome for Simon Fraser. They only have 7 players. They are content to get a bit of a breather here. Simon Fraser, of course, will have 2 players with the experience of Tubbs next season, both Swant and Taylor Jackson. They will still be a young team. An incredibly young group. Kendall Sands takes a seat. Taylor Dryman checks back in for Simon Fraser as well. Claudia Hart comes up to the scorer's table. Taylor Jackson will take a seat and Claudia Hart in. So it's Claudia Hart along with Jessica Jones, Tia Sang, Sophie Swant and Taylor Drynan. Down to the final 42 seconds of this third quarter. 15-point lead. It's been all Northwest Nazarene over the last multiple possessions in this third quarter. Simon Fraser in a bit of a scoring funk here. Shot clock. About 8 seconds difference from the game clock. And that shot clock now down to 10 seconds for Taylor Drynan. Hart to Sang. Simon Fraser looking a little disjointed here, trying to find the ball in rhythm. And they do find Drynan though. And Taylor's 3-ball off the mark. Great rebound there by Jones. She'll kick it back out, 6 seconds left. And oh, can't get the roll there as Taylor Drynan had a good look at it underneath. So the foul is going to get called against Northwest Nazarene. And it's going to go against number 44, Coco Gall, whose name we haven't called in the last little while. Gall, terrific player in that starting group. Sophie Swant will get a chance here with the clock stopped to take a couple of free throws. Simon Fraser is going to have to play the fourth quarter of its season. Wants to come away with a victory here tonight against Northwest Nazarene. That lull in the third quarter costly. Swant hits them both. Nonetheless, the gap still 13 points against the number 2 ranked team of the GNAC with 1 quarter to go. And that is a mountain to climb. 61-48 our score here from the West Gym. Northwest Nazarene with the lead over Simon Fraser. Howard Samura Client TV back with more in just a moment.
To me, one word to describe competing for SFU is determination, because I am surrounded by teammates who face adversity but persevere to achieve success. That persistence motivates and drives me to better myself on and off the mat. I am Peyton Smith, and I am proud to be on the SFU women's wrestling team.
And the Simon Fraser Clan set to face Central Washington. It's a 5:15 start Saturday. Hope you'll join us again on Clan TV. You can't be here in the West Gym and tune in on Clan TV, but hey, let's get down here, watch some great basketball live. Middle of February, basketball is a game to be enjoyed live, especially here at the West Gym. Simon Fraser outscored 29-13 in that third quarter of play. They have some huge slopes to climb here in this fourth quarter of play. They've got the basketball. They're going to go up to Taylor Drynan. Drynan to Sophie Swant for 3, and Sophie knocks down a nice triple to start things off. She makes it a 10-point game. That couldn't have gone much better for Simon Fraser. Watching this Northwest Nazarene team in the half court, though, something to watch. Look at the way there's so many options on the floor that when Lexi Tubbs puts it on the deck and drives to the basket, the defense for a second gets frozen. What's going to happen? Is it going to be a Jardine cut to the basket? No, it's Tubbs right to the rim for the lay-in. And Simon Fraser, though, comes right back down. And Tia Sang, the sophomore, able to score it underneath, gets that 10-point lead right back. Here's Tubbs again with the basketball, and they're going to call the travel. So a turnover on the senior. The team's leading scorer at 15.1 points per game heading into play tonight. Lexi Tubbs, one of the top players in the conference. You look at the young players that Steve Steele, the head coach, has brought in, and it's impressive to look as well. But this group out on the floor, experience everywhere. for Northwest Nazarene here tonight. Here's Jones, puts her head down, goes to the rack and gets hammered underneath. And I believe the foul's going to get called against Avery Albrecht, number 15. And that's her third foul of the game. So good on Jessica Jones from the Clan perspective. Her hard take to the basket yields the free throw trips here. See some BC Girls High School basketball coaches in the crowd here tonight. And Jessica Jones doing a great job from the stripe to make it a 8-point game. Here comes the Clan, but great basketball, especially at the Fraser Valley Championships, will be held this weekend at Abbotsford Secondary School. And it will be fun to watch. And that tournament, as the Crusaders put up the 3-ball, will include 3 Clan incoming recruits. Great heart being shown by Claudia Hart, pardon the pun, as the former Seacove Seahawk goes crashing to the deck. And Bruce Langford just got teed. Bruce Langford extremely upset at the physicality being shown there underneath, I believe, in the play involving Claudia Hart, who came crashing to the ground. We'll take a look at the replay here as Coach Langford has been teed up by the officials here in the West Gym. Claudia Hart pursuing the ball with reckless abandon. But boy, she takes a bit of a crunching check as she hits the floor from a pair of Northwest Nazarene. You can see Coach Langford right there. And not happy with the calls as you get a bird's eye view of our broadcast location and the locale we have with the Clan bench. We're right in the heart of it here on Clan TV from the West Gym. Sophie Swans, you can see her right there addressing her team as we switch views to take Lexi Tubbs. Tubbs is leading a parade to the stripe here for Northwest Nazarene down this fourth quarter. And she hits them both calmly. Number 3 is a general for her team. And what a job she's done here for Northwest Nazarene. Lead pushed back to 10 points here now for Northwest Nazarene with 8:09 remaining. Tia Sang for the Clan inbounding the basketball. Simon Fraser now on the attack. Jones looking for an option, finding Swan at the elbow. Great cut to the basket from Jones, and she's gonna get the beautiful layup to fall. Jessica Jones. And that makes it an 8-point game, but can the Clan continue to lock down defensively? Bit of a rush shot there by Nazarene on the baseline. Certainly makeable, but comes up well short. And Simon Fraser seals, takes that loose ball, and gets it in the hands of their point guard, the sophomore Taylor Drynan now. Taylor with a skip down low to Sophie. Jessica Jones in rhythm. Oh, a shot she can make. Just a bit strong there for Jones, and it comes up shy. Crusaders, or rather Nighthawks, can make it a 10-point game with a basket here. McKenna Walker back up, and they're going to move it around. They get it to Katie Merritt. Here's Tubbs now. Skipping to an open wing, out of bounds, Simon Fraser basketball. And both of the Jardine sisters will come into the game at the same time. They will spell Coco Gall, and as well number 30, the junior, Carly Parker, out of Pocatello. So both Jardines on the floor wearing 42 and 24. Taylor Jackson will check in the next stoppage for Simon Fraser. McKenna Walker as well out there. Here's Drynan. Doing what they need to do. Battle underneath, physicality galore as Sophie Swan goes to the ground. Katie Merritt leaves her spot in the front court and drops down to defend underneath. Teaming with Raquel Jardine. So Tia Sang will take a seat. Taylor Jackson, number 12, now back into the game. Clan needed to fortify in the front court strength-wise to compete with those Jardine sisters. Katie Merritt inbounding to Danielle Jardine, here's Tubbs. She pulls up from 17, measures it, comes up shy. Jardine underneath the basket, can't get a roll, and Claudia Hart with a great rebound underneath. Hart took that ball away, and Tubbs, though, never gives up, relentless. She tips it out of bounds. It'll be Simon Fraser basketball, 23 on the shot clock. Avery Albrecht, number 15, will check in now for Northwest Nazarene for Lexi Tubbs. This is going to be a brief respite for Tubbs. They will not keep her off the floor long, you know that. The head coach Steve Steele will bring her in after a short breather for the absolute stretch drive of this basketball game. Here's the entry to Taylor Jackson. Oh, turnaround move by Jackson. Comes up shy, tough break there, and Jones getting a little too anxious guarding. And Katie Merritt will be the magnet for that foul. Raquel wears 42, Danielle wears 24, the Jardines, and they have been huge factors in this game for Northwest Nazarene. There's Albrecht on the baseline. Danielle Jardine spins on the baseline. McKenna Walker measures it, can't get it to fall. Taylor Jackson with a big rebound there, quickly into the hands of Jessica Jones. Leads at 8. A three-pointer would drastically change the look of this basketball game. And Albrecht defending hard in the post. Interestingly, Northwest Nazarene can bring their guard and wing types in and guard so well in the basket, in the paint rather. They did a good job there to deny Simon Fraser. McKenna Walker now back up top to Jardine. Cross-court pass back to Merritt. Jones gets into a match there. Ooh, and it got a little physical there between Jones and McKenna Walker. And Jessica Jones is going to get called for the foul. So a tough break there for Simon Fraser. That was one half of the tooth and nail that was going on the floor. But the foul against Simon Fraser, Jones' third of the game. And Simon Fraser's third team foul of the quarter. Walker to Albrecht, feeding the post. Jardine, turnaround move, and she's going to get the roll. They occupy space, and they are nimble on their feet, the Jardines, to make a difference here. For Northwest Nazarene, as Sophie Swant gives a straight arm. Let's take a look on the Clan TV replay. Not sure what we get. Indeed, we do have that. Coach Ford could use Sophie Swant, I think, with a nice straight arm like that. 67-57 is the score, 4:39 remaining. Northwest Nazarene doing a terrific job here in terms of keeping the Clan at arm's length. Take a look at this great look from our Clan TV crew as Jessica Jones does what she can to get that basketball. Oh, you. Picture tells 1,000 words, and once again, our Clan TV crew right there to capture it all. And time to give a special shout out to everybody manning the cameras and helping out on Clan TV as we take a look at those GNAC standings. But what a terrific job for our halftime interviews, our super slow-mo replays, and Gabe Lynn getting it all going from Control Central in the bowels of the West Gym. Simon Fraser at 6-10 could move into a tie with Concordia, although Concordia does have the tiebreaker, but they need the wins. And what a tough 2 games they have here. Take a look at Central Washington at 10-7. Northwest Nazarene's at 14-2. You know what? It doesn't matter. You're going to get one tough game and then another. Regardless of what happens here tonight, key measure of this Clan team, how much can they bring for Saturday with such a limited bench, a 7-player team here? They are logging huge minutes, and they're gutsy. As gutsy as you could define the word here down the stretch drive, these Clan players. As we mentioned off the top, the first game of a regular season-ending 4-game homestand. Albrecht back up top to Tubbs, who's now back into the game. A short breather for Lexi Tubbs. 9 on the shot clock with 4:16 remaining. Sister to sister, it's Danielle to Raquel, and the Jardines make it happen. And they make it in a 12-point lead for Northwest Nazarene. Here's Jones, dish underneath, and Taylor Jackson lays it up and in to make it a 10-point game. There's an element here that tells you that Northwest Nazarene, with their rotation and their physicality and their makeup as they turn the ball over, are a train. They just keep coming. And they're able to beat you in a number of ways. Their physicality with the Jardines and Gall, but also the finesse and the just overall greatness of a player like Alexi Tubbs. They have so many weapons they can throw at you. And certainly that's how they've put this great season together for their head coach, Steve Steele. Here we go, down to final 3:42. Simon Fraser needs to dip their hands in the magic jar here down the stretch drive. Jones comes to a jump stop. She hands off to Taylor Dryden. They're going to feed Taylor at the high post. Taylor whirling dervish underneath, and she gets it to go. She outfoxes Danielle Jardine in the post, and a great move there by Jackson to make it an 8-point game. You're going to see tempered play here by Northwest Nazarene. They're going to eat shot clock. They're going to take their time, and they are a half-court executing team, so they're not like they're doing anything out of the ordinary here. Kick it, 10 on the shot clock, take the 3 ball. Tubbs, the miss, into the hands, and that's a tough break there, into the hands of Albrecht from a Clan perspective. Merritt, and she will kick it back out. They're happy that the clock is draining time right now. Here's Jardine guarded by Sang. Back up top to her sister. Parker now to Tubbs down on the baseline, and Jones will be called for the foul. Great ball movement there, got Danielle Jardine in a great position on the baseline. Jones had no option but the foul in that situation. Just based on her positioning on the court, a tough break there for Simon Fraser as Carly Parker set the check in for Northwest Nazarene. Danielle Jardine a bit too strong on the free throw. You talk about the chugging train that is Northwest Nazarene, but also don't forget the explosiveness from downtown that Simon Fraser can have. And it doesn't take much to muster their 3-point effort. They have had trouble getting the ball in rhythm tonight, but clearly able to get that part of their game going. They trail by 3 trays after Jardine makes the second free throw. Here's Sang. Tia to Jones for 3, a big shot. Bingo! Jessica Jones! And she'll make it a 6-point game. You know Northwest Nazarene is going to slow tempo. You know that Simon Fraser doesn't want to foul here, but they will eat shot clock, eat as much clock as they can. Oh, Tubbs will let a quick one go. She's going to miss it. Great rebound. Oh, great effort for the rebound there. Ooh, and Taylor Dryden put a tick mark by her name. Give her a gold star there. A great move by Dryden. Causes the travel, even though Jardine got that loose ball, and it's Simon Fraser basketball. 2:07 remaining here as Swant quickly up court to Tia Sang. It's off of her. Ooh, that's a costly turnover for Simon. They're down by 2 possessions with 2:02 remaining. They had just gotten a stop, and in their desire to push tempo here and get back into this basketball game in a serious contending way, they threw the ball right out of bounds. Back up top, Jardine. Albrecht skip on the baseline. Oh, and Jardine in her office. Terrific play by Danielle Jardine. A timeout being called by Northwest Nazarene. They're liking where they are right now as they head off the floor for this timeout. And we'll keep it here. Take a look at that Clan TV replay. There's a certain nimbleness to the Jardine sisters, and you can see it right there on that replay. Danielle Jardine didn't need a lot of space to really to get into her groove there on the baseline, and when she gets the basketball and isn't guarded closely enough, it's the footwork, the nimbleness, and the decisive play on the baseline that allows her to keep a force field around herself underneath the basket. And you saw it right there as she faked forward, went back, spun, and laid the ball up and in for a 72-64 lead. Basketball, a game defined by the body types you can put on the floor and the skill sets that affect so much more than you would think just based on body type. And Tia Sang's having a tough one there. That is a tough break. Simon Fraser as a team, I shouldn't single out Tia, I didn't mean it that way. That's a tough one though. At this juncture of the game, you want to protect the basketball, and they just came off of a turnover, I believe, in which Sophie was trying to find Tia up the floor, and that pass off the money. So a couple of big turnovers when they can ill afford to have them. If both of those turnovers led to threes, it'd be a 2-point game. Of course, that's wishful thinking on the part of the Clan fan. But nonetheless, these turnovers extremely costly. They came with about 2.5 minutes left. They took about a minute of possession off the clock for Simon Fraser. Jones with a great block underneath. They keep it going, but this time looks like Avery Albrecht's going to persevere. And Jessica Jones, after a great block on the first foray, is forced to foul on the second, and it's Avery Albrecht that gets to the free throw line. If you're a Clan basketball fan, you can see how close this team is, and I think coaches anywhere would appreciate what they're doing with 7 players against the number 2 team in their conference. They're playing desperate basketball, but the margin for error is virtually 0 here as they're down by 10 now with 1:11 remaining. Simon Fraser will huddle it up here. And if you see the player on the right side of the screen with the gray Simon Fraser shirt, Ozzy Nabuko, remember, she hurt her knee and was lost for the season. She's the reigning GNAC freshman of the year. So if you want to think what SFU has coming back, it is terrific in terms of getting Nabuko back in a recruiting class where I can tell you, having personally watched these 3 freshmen, they are as talented, as tough as they come, especially a player of Abbotsford named Sienna Lenz, who you will see, in Georgia Swant, who's the younger sister of Sophie Swant. As well, Emma Kramer, a player who's a little under the radar, but just a dynamic scoring guard. All 3 of those players coming in as freshmen next season. Simon Fraser's going to turn it over. Tubbs blocked, though, as she goes to the basket by Swant. Take a look at this on the replay. Sophie does a great job of becoming the brick wall when she has to be. What a great turnaround time, too, on the slow-mo replay. Thank you to our Clan TV crew for that great look at Sophie Swant, who plays in the 39th minute the same way she plays in the first minute, and you saw it right there. Drynan now with the basketball, we're under a minute remaining. Swant, kick it out, Jones for 3. Jessica Jones knocks down the 3. And all of a sudden it's a 7-point game, and Sophie quickly fouling from behind. The bonus in effect, and Jardine will step up to the free throw line as you take a look at the replay here of the shot to Jones for the 3-ball. That third quarter did in the Clan in terms of their struggle that they're facing right now. Outscored 29-13 in the third quarter by 16 points after trailing, or after having played such a great first half. Down to 38 seconds left in the game now. Swant driving, kicking, Sang for 3. Tia, just off the mark there. Swant chases down the loose ball. She crashes into the Clan bench. benches, you'll notice that is a small Clan bench. Nicole Vanderhelm injured, and the 2-player rotation off the bench. In we go, 31.8, 1.8 between game and shot. Here's Jones, cross-court pass to Dryden. She's going to hoist a 3. Just no time to set her feet. Tia, reverse won't go underneath. They battle for a loose ball. And there's Swanton Jardine. Shot clock's now turned off, 20.3 seconds left. And a great battle here by the Clan, which is starting to look like they may have to retrench and get ready for Central Washington here on Saturday. Of course, that'll be a 5:15 start, a doubleheader with the men. We're set to play Alaska Anchorage at 7:30. Tia with a foul there. So 18.4 seconds left and a slow march here to the finish. Northwest Nazarene has been excellent from the free throw line. With 4:43 remaining, they were 13 of 15 from the stripe, so they have hit their free throws. Ooh, first offering from Tubbs is going to roll in and out. So make the second. Timeout called on the floor. We'll keep it here. That's a 9-point lead for Northwest Nazarene. Simon Fraser has had this kind of a season. There's been so many great efforts that have not reflected in the win column. There's been nights, of course, when they have been outclassed, outnumbered in terms of the situation of really having a small bench. But for the most part, you can see from their perspective how close they are with any semblance of a regular depth rotation to once again contending. And of course, last season, what a year it was for Bruce Langford and his team. Their second trip since entering GNAC to the NCAA Sweet 16. Simon Fraser did to get there, knocking off Alaska Anchorage in a huge upset. And on Alaskan soil was a big one in March for Simon Fraser. So certainly nothing being given here, and the Clan will battle with everything they have right to the end. Of course, they'll bring that same effort on Saturday against the Wildcats in that early 5:15 start. Down to 18.4 seconds left. Clan need a bit of a miracle here. Dryden wants the 3, can't get it. Jackson, she's going to put up the 3, and she's just off the mark. Tubbs with a rebound. She calls a timeout with 9.7 seconds. So we get closer and closer to a Northwest Nazarene victory here. And head coach Steve Steele, a second-year coach, has a 12-15 career record. So if you look at that, you know that there's been a big turnaround here with Northwest Nazarene. And we hope you've enjoyed everything you've seen here tonight on Clan TV in terms of doubleheader February basketball action here in the GNAC. The men, of course, coming out with the convincing win over Alaska Fairbanks, the largest margin of victory for the Simon Fraser men in NCAA D2 history in terms of their conference play. What a victory it was behind the play of Kadar Wright. The women hanging tough through the opening half of play, but just didn't have it in the third quarter where they're outscored by a wide margin. It proved too big a bridge to climb. 76-67, the final score. Northwest Nazarene continues to roll with a magic season here in the GNAC. They celebrate in the West Gym tonight. Simon Fraser, of course, set to retrench and get ready for Central Washington on Saturday. Those playoff hopes continue to hang by a thread for the Clan, with 3 more games remaining, all at home in this 27-18 regular season. For executive producer Steve Frost, for our producer Gabriel Lynn, for everybody on the Clan TV crew, thank you for your efforts tonight. Howard Samura bidding you farewell from Burnaby Mountain in the West Gym. We'll be back with you again 5:15 Saturday for Clan women's basketball.